Glory here alongside me, Colin Wilson. Looking forward to this one, the first final of the weekend. We see there the Chinese players just entering the arena behind us. And of course, Colin, we will have new champions this year, given that last year's champions, Lin Shidong and QIANTIANYI-LIM, not in this one. So this is a big opportunity for these players.
Yeah, it's a big chance. So Chinese pair against a Korean pair. We're going to have a left and a right-hander on both sides of the net. But the difference is that it's going to be the female player from China who's the left-hander, and on the Korean side it's going to be JONGHOON, male player, who's going to be the left-hander. So it should be very, very interesting. All of the players ranked in the top 50 in the world in singles, and can't wait to see this.
Yeah, it's going to be a really high-quality match, that's for sure, as were all of the matches that we saw earlier on today at table one. And it's interesting, the dynamic of having a left hand and a right hand player in both teams, and that just adds an extra element, doesn't it, of intrigue and excitement.
It does, because with a left and a right hander, they can stand out of each other's way and still play the leverage that they need on the forehand without trying to occupy the same recovery position. So it's going to be quite interesting how they try to get the other pair out of position. Early in the rally, wide of the forehand possibly, and then wide of the backhand, to try and get the players to kind of bang into each other in terms of making your opponents move. But of course, both pairs can try and do that to each other. It's going to be quite interesting how they play the width of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Really looking forward to seeing this one get going. And of course, some familiar faces here. We've already seen some of these players in action on table one. JONGHOON, of course, of Korea, was in men's singles action earlier on in the quarterfinals. He's back again. Kim Nayeong, of course, she was playing in the women's doubles semis alongside Rui Hannah. So they've already got some table tennis time under their belts already today. And do you think that will be a factor at all in terms of tiredness levels, or will that be something they're used to?
I think if they've played one doubles match today, they'll be fine. And to play a doubles match, I think, is nice just to get your rhythm, whether or not you're playing with the same partner. And so I think it's probably an advantage that they've played earlier today.
Well, all will be revealed when we get underway shortly. And in terms of the routes through to the final for these respective pairs, well, the Koreans have actually played one match more than their Chinese opponents. XUEFEI and QIANTIANYI, the top seeds, had a bye into the quarterfinal. There they defeated Zhang Peng and Liu Weishan, the wildcards, 3 games to love. In the semi-final, they defeated Yuan, Li Sen and Chen Yi, the third seeds, 3-1. So they've been looking really good all week. Colin, of course, you've been here all week. You've been watching the action unfold across table one. I don't know whether you've seen this pair in action. They're the top seeds. Of course, you've been across table one, but they've been playing on different tables throughout the week. Yeah,
well, I think with the Chinese woman, QIANTIANYI-LIM, she's so strong, 12 in the world, experienced enough at age 25, and her opponent, although ranked lower in the world than she is in the men's, XUEFEI, the penholder player that you can see at this end, I think they play together pretty well. I put the Chinese down as the favourites, I think, for this. Having said that, the Korean players do spend an inordinate amount of time training in doubles, and JONGHOON is certainly a doubles specialist, not only in mixed, but also men's doubles. JONGHOON, of course, having to cope with the disappointment of playing earlier in the singles.
Yeah, lost to Zhang Peng and that was a difficult one for him. That was a long match. It was 45 minutes long, went to 5. So yeah, it might have taken some toll.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of lactic acid left in the legs. We'll see how explosive he is in the second half of the match. See if he can. If he's got the strength endurance. Great rally, Good reach there from Im Jong-hoon. Had to get right across here, wide of the forehand. But made it. Nice counter topspin there from Qian. Ball was spun up heavily with topspin to her forehand. I wouldn't say off the bounce, but just before peak of bounce, down the line. The timing was impeccable. 5 centimeters earlier, 5 centimeters later, this shot's not even possible. Oh, Xu Fei caught in the middle, didn't know whether to play forehand or backhand. Superb placement from Lim. Sorry, from Kim, who herself is only 19 years old. Another up-and-coming women's superstar.
And interestingly, this is a relatively new pairing, this Korean pairing. We normally see him playing alongside Shin Yi-bin, together ranked 4 in the world, but this two showing that they're already a very effective partnership.
Yeah, doing well. So Kim, 32 in the world, top player. Is that going to go on? Yeah, the receiving woman there. 32 in the world, but possibly the disadvantage, she's only 19 years old, and it takes a lot of experience to be able to play good doubles. China will pour the pressure onto the Korean woman. Just to test her, just to see what she can stand up to. She did okay there, but the ball was so strong from Zhu in response. So Qian there is telling Su what service she wants him to do. Plenty of hand signals under the table in doubles. Again there, Kim asking Jonghoon to do a particular kind of serve, so she knows what to expect coming back. It's like secret chats in the office corridor, isn't it? That's a little bit lucky there for Su, just caught the top of the net and made it almost impossible for Im Jong-hoon to get back.
This is great stuff for Im and Kim. 3 game points.
Yeah, against my prediction.
Best of 5 though, of course, for the doubles.
So Kim Nayeong, she's done very, very well. They've tested her and she stood up very, very well to it. But you could see she just wrinkled up her face when she pushed that serve in the net. They'd have wanted to win the first point where they get game point. Now she has to serve. Oh, what a great follow-up from Im Jong-hoon, first game.
Yeah, 11 points to 8 to Im and Kim. A great start for the number 4 seeds. It's bringing a bit of a surprise in the opener. Against the top seeds, just 5.5 minutes is all it took to wrap that one up. And in a day where we've had some really long games, that's very much against the grain of what we've seen so far today.
Yeah, a quizzical-looking Chinese coach. very much some three-way conversations at both ends. Plenty of discussion about what has happened and what they expect might happen, what their plan is together. A few little exercises, mirroring each other. Hopefully they're in tune.
Well, looks as if they are so far. They look positive, don't they? They look relaxed.
They do.
Certainly wouldn't have been in the script, would it, for Xu and Qian as they make their way back towards the table ahead of the second game.
Indeed. So JONGHOON and Kim Na-yeong looking a bit lighter on their feet as they come back to the table. All of that mindset can shift in a couple of points. So. That was a weak return of serve from the world number 12, which gave Xu a very, very difficult job with the follow-up. So first point to the Koreans. Well, if the first one was weak, that was almost impossible. That was almost impossible to return. So she's made up for it, albeit with the help of the lip of the net. Yeah, Xu there. Lovely big backhand after the flick. Just off. So the ball comes up a little bit for Kim. There it is. Yeah, she delivers it well. Straight into the wrist of her opponent. And if it's going for the wrist, it's hard actually just to get your bat on it. So she didn't try to play the ball wide, but just stop the opponent from getting her bat on it cleanly. So even the losers of this match will share $1,500, and the winners will make $2,500. Plus, of course, whatever winnings they might get from the women's doubles, men's doubles, or their relevant singles. That's a great flick of the wrist from JONGHOON, wasn't it? Oh, Qian, she had the opportunity. Looks away into the middle distance. Not happy with herself there. She's made a couple of little errors, which has given the Koreans a 6-3 lead.
And it's really impressive that the Koreans have got themselves ahead again after they went down 3 points, I think. They were 3-0 down to start this one off.
Oh, went for the big one. Shakes his head. Maybe he realises it wasn't actually possible. Short return instead this time. Yeah, Qian much, much stronger there. Look for the Chinese girl. There, well done. Just keeping JONGHOON off balance, so when he hit it, the ball hit the net. He couldn't get the lift on it. Yeah, Kim Na-yeong, very, very happy with herself. Shot to be proud of there. Oh, she couldn't get her feet down. Moved into position, and it wasn't quite there. Made a final adjustment, but the ball was upon her. course, the most experienced player here is XUEFEI, 36 years of age. And in previous rounds, he was doing a lot of the talking to Qian, but not so much in this final. Oh, went for the fast dig. Backspin down the line. Qian had already run around it. She was miles out of position, but the ball didn't land. Chinese lead. Oh, that's an amazing shot. Amazing shot. So you see the attack here, there, and the counter. Knee on the floor.
Well, 3 game points for China. They only needed the 1 and they level up at a game apiece. 11 points to 7. They take the second. It was an interesting second game, wasn't it? Because Xu and Qian took an early lead. They were pegged back. It was 6-all. It was 7-all. And then it was the Chinese who pulled away in the closing stages to level up in this best of 5.
Yes, the Chinese pulled away twice, got reeled in, and then it was level for a bit, and then away they went again. And it can be almost a completely different game in the second to what it was in the first because of the change of order. So instead of a man on one side playing to the woman, then when you change ends, then it's man to man, and then the other man to playing to the other woman. So the change of order can be critical. That's one reason I normally give service away if I win the toss in doubles, so that I can choose the order that the game starts and therefore finishes. So players will often choose the bad order first in order to be having their strong order towards the end of the match.
Yeah, tactically, there's so much going on, as well as the obvious things you need, like speed, reaction times, and strength, and accuracy. There's also the mental side as well that is just as important.
Yeah, you've got to put the whole package together. Oh, I thought Lim had done unbelievably well to get across wide of the forehand. Have a look at this. Gets across. But then Qian saw it coming, dived across. I think she had both feet off the ground hitting that. Oh. Xu saw the opportunity. Just went a little bit too wide with it. Probably wasn't necessary to go that wide.
What a great rally that was. That was really entertaining. Xu in particular, what a shot. Getting down low to play that one. That was just such a great example of athleticism, wasn't it, from all players? Yeah,
from them all. And once again, XUEFEI, his knees scraping the floor as he drags the ball up late. He's in trouble there, though. Kim put that ball away well. Ball came up, side spin chop. Smashed it pretty much towards his head. Not a bad plan. Might sting a bit, but it won't hurt you. Not for long. Unless, of course, it hits you directly in the eye with your eye open. Then that's pretty much the only way that a table tennis ball is going to cause a little bit of discomfort beyond the ordinary. So table tennis is pretty much like a martial art, except you're not actually striking each other. Other than that, they're pretty much trying to beat each other up via the ball, just separated by a 9 feet long piece of wood. Other than that, it's a fight to the death. I can't believe some of the balls they're getting back. Players are attacking, and they're getting their attacks attacked, not only just blocked. Or another one. Xu has had a couple of high balls, and he's missed them both recently. That gives a 2-point lead to the Koreans in this game, where it could really have been a 2-point lead to the Chinese by this point. Ball's up again. Yeah, that time no mistake from Su. And Su's just starting to do a little bit more chatting. And keen to let Qian know what he wants. And the advantage he has is that Qian is so good, she'll be able to deliver what he demands.
And with those two serves, they've now won those 2 points.
Yeah, recovered the position. Yeah, Kim very, very sensibly playing wide of Su's backhand because he had to go across to the right, so couldn't get back in time. I'm really impressed with Im-Jong-Hoon, the way that he's coping with their first attacks. There, and Jonghoon, the left-hander, returning it very, very solidly there. You could see he was in trouble, off balance, but he's coping magnificently. Well, the Chinese got back to 5-all, Rebecca, but now 8-5 down again.
It was a good few points for the servers, and now Im and Kim have disrupted that pattern.
Yeah, they won 2 on their serve, 2 against the serve, and now 9-5 up, with 2 to come from their end. Yeah, they'll struggle with that one. Kim Na-yeong played it just nicely into the backhand of Su here, made it too easy for him. That ball wasn't a strong ball from the Korean woman. Gave Im-Jong-Hoon, her partner, just so much to deal with. Needed to go wider. Again, the ball's up. Again, Su misses the short ball.
Trouble now for the Chinese facing these 4 game points.
It's virtually impossible to put the perfect game of table tennis together, such is the level of difficulty. Yeah, nice flick return from Kim Na-yeong, set it up for her partner, and Im-Jong-Hoon down the line and with a little bit of extra width. And that was enough to take the 3rd game.
That was a really impressive way to finish off that game from Im-Jong-Hoon. The Koreans winning that one 11 points to 6. That's the biggest winning margin that we've seen so far in this match, and they take a 2-1 lead in this final. They're 1 game away from taking the trophy.
So, Chinese pair 2-1 down. Korean pair 1 game away from $2,500 in the championship. Here in Taiyuan, the Dragon City in China.
Yeah, that'd be huge for them, wouldn't it, to upset this Chinese pair on their home turf. The top seeds. Of course, they can't be written off.
Fourth game, Kim Na-yeong to serve, love on.
Yeah, nice follow-up after the serve from Im-Jong-Hoon. Decided to go in heavy and tacked it well. Oh, sorry there. Just hit the top of the net. Made it difficult for Su. Great attacks and counter-attacks. Again, an apology. So Im Jong-hoon getting the ball on well and fast, but just a little bit of fortune with the net. Well, I was just going to say, this is the point at which Kim Na-yeong, the 19-year-old, will just need to show her partner that she's very, very solid. But she just really made a bit of an unforced error on that one. And again, not really unforced, but those are the kinds of points that make the difference between success and failure at the highest level. She needs to be instilling confidence in her partner. Is this the test that we spoke about earlier? High performance sport is just brutal, isn't it?
Well, China take the lead. It was all Korea in the opening few points, and now China starting to make their mark in this one. It's been, you talked about Kim being a target. She was absorbing the pressure so well in the opening few games at points, but now the pressure just beginning to show somewhat.
Yeah, the problem will be that, you know, when a player you feel a player is under attack a little bit, their partner is then under more pressure to try and make winners. Sometimes when they're not quite there, they have to take a little bit more risk. So they just need to make sure they just keep it together as a pair and they'll be okay. But now 2 errors from Im Jong-hoon. So a couple of errors from each of them, and now they're a fair bit behind. Just got to get the flow back between them, the rhythm. That's better.
Yeah, much more like it. Of course, maybe those errors coming down you could put that down to nerves, perhaps, at this stage. You know, they might sense that they're a game away from taking the title, and
yeah, certainly. That was good from Kim. Well done. Yeah, partly nerves and partly you have to have the feeling. The question in your mind is, do I belong here at this level? And in singles, you know, Kim, 32 in the world, is highly ranked. Not as highly ranked as Chan, who's ranked 12 in the world, but you know, she's used to high-level games. But has she got the doubles experience? And at 19 years of age, the questions are still being asked by the old stagers like the 36-year-old XUEFEI, just saying, look, I'm the incumbent here, and you're going to have to take us out. Do you really belong? And the young players have to have that belief that they absolutely belong. Men's semi coming up, we're going to have a Japanese player, Soro. Will be coming up. He's Japanese and only 17 years of age, and again he's going to be proving to the others that he does belong at this level. So we've got plenty more action to come in singles after this doubles, but there'll be semi-finals. This is the final of the mixed doubles, and we're getting towards the end of the match.
yeah, and it'll be a fascinating restart after Xu Xian calling for that timeout. They did have a 3-point lead. They are looking in danger of being pegged back, and it'll be fascinating to see how the rest of this one unfolds. China get us back underway with the serve.
Well, and after all that, they've been asking the questions of each other, and it's 6-all. Now that's one that Kim needed to make. The ball was up, she knew it, just shoulders dropped. Can the Chinese pair stay in this? long push receive from Kim, and the luckiest of balls from Chen is keeping the #1 seeds in this. That was a lovely loop from Im-Jong-hoon, and see his reaction after the point's over. He thought he'd done enough, but look at that pen-hold backhand. Kim with hand outstretched wide of her backhand, but not close. Well done, Xu. It's the Chinese a 9-7 lead. Im-Jong-hoon thought he'd just finished that one. You see how hard he went, but also how wide he went. Neither pair allowing the others to get ahead. Oh, top edge from Im-Jong-hoon. Replays it after the point. Just catches, I think, the top of his bat. Yeah, couldn't quite get the middle of his bat. He's travelling so fast. So difficult to hit the middle of the bat, or the part of the bat that you're trying to use, probably a little bit further up than that. The leverage. Oh, and the Koreans are still there. So Qian to serve, 10-9 for the Chinese. Can they pull it back to 2 games all? #1 seeds, game point. Fast serve. Oh, and Xu goes off the end. It's back to 10 all. And from game points to China, it's now Koreans 2 points from victory. So, long conversation, but here comes the serve. Kim does well, Lim does well. It's a great ball from Korean girl. Just off from Xu. Well played, both Koreans, match point. So, 36-year-old QIANTIANYI serving. Chen giving the instructions. And it's off the side. And there we are. It just touched the net. A little bit of disappointment there for the Chinese. They'll take $1,500, but the winners in $2,500. Im-Jong-hoon and Kim Na-yeong. A wonderful finish for them. They didn't let the Chinese pair get away and make it 2 all, put them under pressure in the final game. It just touched the net. You couldn't see it behind Qian's back. So a wonderful, wonderful half an hour's play there in the mixed doubles. And the champions are from Korea.
Please take your seats and switch your cell phone to vibrate or silent mode. Thank you for your phone operation.